So, hello, and yes, welcome back to another bad movie review. These are my favourite videos to film in a minute because I love pissing people off. There's always discussion in the comments where some people they always like to get a bit more nasty, and it's like, you know what? Fair play. Fair play. I'm probably shitting all over something you like, and I'm about to do it again. But hey, that's what this series is about. This is me coming on here talking about movies that I feel are truly awful. And today, we're talking about Pirates of the Caribbean. What the fuck do I call this movie? Do I call it Salazar's Revenge or Dead Men Tell No Tales? What was it? I do own it on Blu-ray only because I love the first three and I do enjoy the fourth one. But I love the first three so much. I want to have all the series. So in the UK it was Salazar's Revenge, but I'm pretty sure in America it was Dead Men Tell No Tales. I can't even remember if they say that in the movie. I know they say it in one of the earlier films. Salazar's Revenge actually probably makes more sense to me because this film is about Salazar getting revenge on Jack Sparrow. So, I genuinely think this is a better title. So, I'm going to call my video this before someone's like, it's called Dead Men Tell No Tales. So, yeah, Salazar's Revenge is what I'm going to call it. So, background, me on Pirates of the Caribbean. I love pirates. I grew up watching the first one, Curse of the Black Pearl. I think it is one of the best 2000 movies out there, you know, in that come out in the early 2000s. I think it's a fantastic movie. Went to see the second one, third one in cinema, loved them both, thought they were both great sequels. They actually carried on the plot and developed these characters. It's clear when Gore Verbinski walked away from the films that it got Disney-fied. The fourth one is very Disney-fied. It's not a bad movie, though. It carries on the characters that are remaining. It takes them all sort of in sensible directions, other than Barbossa. I'm not a big fan of what they done with him, but they go in a sensible direction. They give you another fun adventure film in the Caribbean. I mean, I think it's in the Caribbean. I don't know, the French and the Spanish are in it a lot. No, not the French. It was just the Spanish, wasn't it? And the British, obviously. Anyway, the fourth one's fine. I've got no major problems with it. The fifth one, here we are. Orlando Bloom, Keira Knightley were returning. It was said that they'd both have small parts, but they were returning. They said they were going to go back to the formula that they used for the first movie. The trailers looked pretty exciting. I like the fact we had another really creepy looking villain, because Blackbeard was a bit boring. You know, he was just a human, whereas we'd had Skeleton, Jeffrey Rush, and then we'd had Davy Jones, who looked fantastic, played by the wonderful Bill Nighy. So it was cool to have, you know, we had Javier Bardem on board, and he looked awesome in the trailers. The trailers looked great. Some of the dialogue in the trailers was cool. And the trailers were good, even though they done one, which was a complete copycat of Logan. Because I remember Logan come out, and it used the song Hurt, which was, of course, part of those last 6 American albums that Johnny Cash done. And then Pirates of the Caribbean done it with a song. What was the song? Something My Grave, Dig My Grave. Something like that. And it was like, oh my God, you've seen the Logan trailer. You've seen how amazing this is. And you've gone, do that. The trailers are good. Everything looked good. I was looking forward to this film. What a fucking train wreck. This film is a train wreck. The opening sequence of them carrying a bank through the streets sounds really fun to me, but I've seen so many films do this now. It felt so unoriginal. Some of the CGI surrounding it, there's a bit where he runs over the top of a bridge and jumps back down on the bank, looks awful. The dialogue as well. And Jack Sparrow, you know, I know now looking back at this, we all know Johnny Depp was in a very bad place. And I don't want to talk about that too much because obviously it's outside of the film. This is his personal life, and it's something that we as the public don't know all the details of at the minute because the situation with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard is still unfolding. Even though at the minute it's not been handled very well, it's still unfolding. But Johnny Depp was turning up on set very late every day, and he was turning up drunk, hungover. I'm guessing even sometimes he was probably high. He was in a bad place, we all know that. But it did majorly affect his character, whereas before Jack Sparrow would always be in control of things. If you look at the first 3 movies especially, even though he come across as a bit of a bumbling idiot, he always knew what was happening. This character was in control. He had his little, you know, I'm going to tell Elizabeth we need to go here because she thinks she's going to get this out of it, but really I'm going to get this out of it. You know, that's the way this character thought, whereas in this movie now, he's a genuine washed up drunk. And like the bit where he wakes up in the bank and then a woman wakes up next to him and it's like, oh, it's this posh guy's wife. It's like, oh yeah, there's that joke that we've all heard 1,000 times. So yeah, the opening sequences alone were terrible, and you really got to feel that, wow, this film, they don't care. They don't care. They're just plucking plot points from other movies that have been done 1,000 times, and unfortunately, just Johnny Depp's, his heart is not in this movie. The film, unfortunately, you get to meet the two new leads. You get to meet the character called Henry Turner, who is, of course, Will Turner's son. And the actor who plays him is Brenton Thwaites or something like that. And yeah, he's not great in this movie. I don't know. The thing is, as well, they try to really Hollywoodize it. Whereas I know that Orlando Bloom, you know, he was there, and so was Keira Knightley for to pull people in because they're very attractive people, but they still look gritty and stuff. So in this film, these guys, he didn't look gritty. It's like, oh no, we're just gonna have him there to pull in all the young girls. He's not a very good actor, or he wasn't in this at least. And then of course they got Kaya Scodelaria. I can't fucking say it, whatever. To play the new lead in this, and people know her from the Maze Runner movies. And Scrub, was it? No, Skins, something like that. She was in a British TV show, and she can be good. You know, I saw her in Crawl last year. She can be good, but she's just not great in this movie. Kind of annoying. Neither of them do very well here at all. Neither of them, you know. Even with Johnny Depp not doing a great job in this movie, whenever they're on screen with him, they can do nothing to pull the camera towards them. There's nothing that makes you want to go, I want to see what they're doing. You just always want to see what Jack or his little pirate crew, Mr. Gibbs, and the ones that are left, there's barely any at this point, are doing. So that happens. Keith Richards didn't want to do this one because he probably saw the script and went, that looks shit. I'm just kidding. He was probably on tour. So they got Paul McCartney instead from the Beatles. And you know what? This isn't me just being a biased Beatles fan. That was one of the only bits I laughed at in the film. I was like, they've actually made him look kind of cool. He looks kind of cool in all the pirate gear. And then he had a little line which was funny. And it's like, you know what? I sound like a biased Beatles fan. I promise I'm not. It genuinely was one of the better scenes in it. And then the movie just takes you from one place to another. There's a bit with a witch and Barbossa. And Barbossa makes no sense. He's still wearing his British gear, even though he's now like pirate overlord. Put him back in his normal outfit. His normal outfit is so much better. I don't understand. I don't understand why they have this amazing outfit for Barbossa. And they're like, no, keep him in the British one from the fourth movie. It baffles me. And at the end of the fourth one, you see him go back into his cool pirate outfit. And then they revert it back. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's baffling to me. Anyway, Salazar's freed because Jack gives away the compass, which is total bullshit because Jack has given away the compass a few times, which we've seen on screen. Even if it's not permanent, he gives the compass to Will. Will gives the compass to Cutler Beckett, and he gives the compass to Elizabeth. It's like this guy should have been freed by now. And then of course we get flashbacks as to why Jack and Salazar are not friends. And again, there's just it looks awful, honestly. It looks terrible, the de-aging on Jack, I think. I genuinely do. I know some people are going to go, it don't look that bad. Bet you can do a better job. I can do a better job. It's not my job. But it don't look great. The ships, the CGI, it just doesn't look real. That's the thing. The first three movies, they go out to location and film it, but now it's all Disney-fied. They're trying to make these films quick. A lot of these things were done in hangars instead of on real ships. And I know that there were certain bits in the original three that were like that as well. Like the end bit on the Maelstrom in the third movie. But how else do you do that? This didn't... They could have filmed this out in the water and just CGI'd in the rocky island in the background. But no. David Jones gave Jack the Black Pearl and... What's her face? Tia Dharma gave him the compass, but this film goes, no. Bullshit. We're gonna ignore the films, the previous movies. Hey, this is Disney. We like doing that. We've got to ride Skywalker coming out in a few years. We're gonna ignore the previous films there as well. You know, we love ignoring the previous movies. Luckily, Marvel have got someone with a head screwed on properly, so they don't ignore the movies there. But yeah, just ignore them. I know these are only small things and people are going, oh, you're nitpicking. You know what? I really love the first three movies and it takes a shit on them. So I don't like it. I'm not happy about it. And then the rest of the movie just throws you from one place to the other to the other. There's a scene where there's a wedding and it's hilariously bad. It's like, you can tell someone at Disney said it needs to be this long, and then they were like, oh my god, we need more scenes. That funny wedding scene. Well, and what else is there? What else happens? There's an island where they've got to put this crystal on a certain stone, and they walk across the whole island, and they somehow find the one bit where the crystal's got to go. It's like, come on. Such terrible writing. Oh yeah, and the girl is Barbossa's daughter. I want to know when this happened. I want to know when, because she's the same age as the Will Turner's son. So right at the end of movie 3, when obviously Will and Elizabeth say goodbye to each other for the last time, and they obviously, you know, they done some adult things, and this is when this guy was probably created. Barbossa also went, right, I've got to get me some of that too. Where am I going? Brothel. Boom. Oh, leaves, because that's what pirates would do. Somehow he knows. He's like, that's my daughter. I know that's my daughter. End fight scene. The end fight scenes of pirate films, they always like to go a little bit over the top, and I kind of love it. You know, the first film was sort of sensible. Second film, you have giant octopus, the Kraken. Awesome. Love it. Third film, Maelstrom. Loads of pirate ships. You didn't need all the ships in that one, granted, because, you know, obviously they all just turned around and run away. It might have been a bit too much, but the Maelstrom bit, love it. Full film, you had the Fountain of Youth. Pretty cool. Not sure how everyone got in there so quickly and at the same time, but hey, pretty cool. You know, these are fun adventure films. You don't want to tear them apart too much. This one, I like the idea of them being at the bottom of the sea. The sea's parted. Yeah, this kind of fits in with the Pirates of the Caribbean mythical side of things. Great. The CGI was actually okay. The coral looked a bit too clean and stuff, but you know, again, it's fine. I'm not going to pick apart that. The Poseidon's trident. Does that mean all these Greek gods are real now? I don't know if they were before. So then, you know, the curse, all the curses on the sea get reversed, which means no more Pirates movies, surely. Doesn't look like there are at the minute. Apparently now they're doing spin-off ones, which I genuinely don't care about. Jack Sparrow's not in them. And then, yeah, Salazar dies and Barbossa finally dies. And I say finally because, to be honest, I thought he was going to die at the end of the third one when I watched it for the first time. Then the same with the fourth one. And his death. Oh, I love Barbossa. He's truly one of my favourite characters. In the first movie and the third one, he's amazing. That end scene at the end of the second one where he comes down the stairs gives me goosebumps every time. And he's, even though I don't like what they've done with his character, making him a British officer, I still like him in the fourth movie. This is just, it's like, oh, death. His death was just, you know, when his daughter's like, what am I choosing? Treasure. And he just jumps off. It's like, oh, who wrote this? Who wrote this? Then the film ends with Keira Knightley finally walking out. And, yeah. Then we got an end credits scene, which was the best bit of the film, because they teased Davy Jones coming back. And I was like, you know what? If they bring Davy Jones back and they do a good film with Davy Jones, I'll forgive them for this movie. But that's not happening now because of all this unfortunate stuff that's been happening. This film has a couple fun moments to it. I won't take that away from it. I'll touch on some positives quickly because it's not truly awful, this movie. I mean, it's really pretty bad, but it's not truly terrible. A lot of the action sequences are well filmed. I like, you know, it's fun when there's a bit where the Pearl comes up against Salazar's ship and like the front of the ship comes alive. It's over the top, but it's typical pirate stuff. There's some good action sequences in it. I love the bit with the sharks chasing the boat and stuff. The sharks look cool. Yeah, that's about it. The action sequences are good for the most part. This is a bad movie, guys. Bad movie. And it's destroyed pirates, frankly. It really has. I know there's a lot of other stuff that's been going on behind the scenes, of course, like I briefly touched on here. But, yeah, this film has sort of destroyed it. There's 2 directors attached to this. I don't know if this is the reason why. In fact, let me see how many writers there are. Hang on. This is where problems could occur. So, we got Jeff Nathanson, Terry Rosso, Ted Elliott, Stuart Betty, something like that, Jay. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5, 6 people attached to this writing it. That's where the problems go wrong. And there's too many people throwing shit at the wall and hoping it sticks. And unfortunately, we're left with a film which has helped end a great franchise, because I do believe Pirates is that. It doesn't do anything incredible, but it's a fun adventure thing, and I love the first 3, as I say, and the 4th one is charming enough where you're like, this is a really fun franchise. This one has helped ruin it and has ended it on a very sour note. And then even the music wasn't great in this one, you know. The music's normally pretty fucking amazing in these. Anyway, what am I going to give it out of 10? I'll give it 3, 2.5, 3. I can't even make my mind up in a minute. I'll give it a 2.5. I'm going to go 2.5 out of 10. I think this movie is, it's not the worst movie I've reviewed here on my bad movie reviews. But this is a very, very bad movie. And for some reason, people never talk about it too much. I think it's just got forgotten, which is fair enough. Let's let it get forgotten. After you've, you know, digested my video, of course. But anyway, that is it for this video, guys. As always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like the video, leave a message. And I will see you all next time for another video. Bye-bye.